it came to pass that in the 3rd year of his reign, King Ahasuerus held in the city of Shushan a great feast for all the noblemen, that they might eat, drink, and be merry, and that he might display his great wealth to them. Well, fellas, I'm king of Persia and 127 provinces. I'm rich and powerful, but knowing isn't the same as experiencing. Am I right? So I'm glad to host you all here in my opulent palace for another feast. Why, yes, these goblets are made of genuine gold. Look at them shine. More wine all around, and you know the rule. When I drink, everyone drinks. Oh, I'm glad you like my sculptures, and the wall tapestries are truly stunning. That one's woven with pure unicorn hair. But hey, if you think you've seen the most gorgeous stuff I own, you got another thing coming. Just wait till you see my wife. Oh, Vashti, come down and say hi to the guys. Wear that new bejeweled crown I got you. Make it snappy. But Queen Vashti refused to heed the king's commandment and appear before him. No. Which made the king very angry. His anger burned in him. He asked his royal advisors what to do. Your Highness, sir, this is a most grievous act, for Queen Vashti has wronged not only yourself, but all noblemen. And indeed, he's insulted all the men of your kingdom, because when he disobeys you, and the word gets out, the king commanded Queen Vashti to appear, and she did not, then our wives will not obey us. All wives will look upon their husbands with contempt. But if it please your highness, let us make an example of this Vashti, and send her away, and let you choose among all the fairest maidens a new, and more, shall we say, compliant queen to take her place. Then wives shall know their place, and learn to honor their husbands. This plan appealed to the king, who made a new royal decree, published throughout the land, that all wives must honor their husbands, and that every man is the ruler in his own house. This pleased all the royal advisors, who began to organize a gathering of all the fair young maidens in the palace grounds, that the king might choose a new queen to take the place of Vashti. Now it happened that living there in Shushan was a certain young Jew named Mordecai. And Mordecai was raising his uncle's daughter, Hadassah, as she had neither father nor mother to care for her. Mordecai, are you sure this is a good idea for me to go to the palace too? Do you think they'd want a Jew to be the queen? Hadassah, do not tell them who you really are. Just go among the maidens and be quiet, be watchful, and every day I will walk by the palace courtyard to see that you are well. So Hadassah, calling herself by the Persian name Esther, went to the palace to stay among all the other maidens, and did not reveal who she really was. King Ahasuerus noticed and fell in love with her and made her queen instead of Vashti. But still, she kept her true identity as a Jew a secret. Now, as Mordecai came by the palace courtyard one day to look for Hadassah, he happened to hear 2 of the king's chamberlains plotting against the king. Oh no! Oh no! Hadassah! Shh! Mordecai, don't you remember? You have to call me Esther here. Oh, right, Esther. Then I heard 2 men in the king's court, Bigtan and Teresh, conspiring against the king. They want to harm him. They want to seize the throne for themselves. Oh my goodness, Mordecai, tell me all the details, and I shall go and tell one of the king's chamberlains, and they will make sure this doesn't happen. thanks to Mordecai's reporting, which Esther passed along to the royal advisors, being sure to mention Mordecai's name, the murderous plot against the king was foiled, and Mordecai's role in saving the king was written down in the king's book of Chronicles. Sometime later, there arose in the king's court a man named Haman, whom King Ahasuerus favored and promised until Haman was second in power only to the king himself. Well, I outrank this guy and that guy and all those guys over there. I, Haman, am above them all. Watch how they bow down low as I walk by, as indeed they ought, because I convinced the king to pass a law that everyone has to bow down to me. But there was one man in Shushan who did not bow down when Haman passed by. And this so angered Haman that he set the royal advisors to ask Mordecai why he wouldn't bow down. When Haman learned that Mordecai would never bow down to him because Mordecai was a Jew, and Jews don't bow down before human rulers, Haman resolved to destroy all the Jews in the entire kingdom. He cast lots, Purim, to determine the day, and spoke to the king to persuade him to enact a law to put the Jews to death. King Ahasuerus, oh King Ahasuerus, it is an honor and a pleasure and a delight to see you as always, my liege.
Yes, of course, Haman. And how are you doing today?
Oh, my lord, I am troubled. I'm troubled deep down in my heart. Oh, my poor friend, what is it that troubles you? Well, King, you know how much I care about your honor. You're always getting respect and admiration and obedience. And you know what? You remember what happened with she who shall not be named? What? Yes, of course, I remember. So? Sire, it pains me to speak of it, but there's a certain group of people in your kingdom who keep their own ways, which is all well and good, I'm sure, but it seems that their distinctness goes so far that they don't obey your laws. They follow their own. Apparently, these Jews don't believe in bowing to their betters. And who knows what else they might think or do. I do not think it is in your interest, sire, to allow these people to live. All I humbly ask is permission to defend your honor and put an end to this loathsome people before just like...
Say no more, my esteemed Haman. I trust your judgment.
Here, take my signet ring and my purse of silver and do what you will. You may act on my behalf, but only please speak no more of this terrible subject. Not long after that, Haman issued an edict in the name of the king and with the king's seal, stating that on the 13th day of the 12th month of Adar, all Jews, young and old, men and women and children, would on that day be killed and destroyed. And Mordecai and all the Jews in Persia were moaning and weeping and wailing and fasting and tearing their clothes, and some even put on sackcloth and ashes. End of Act 1.